Shoot, there's not a lot of chance of losing him. If we do have any problems to catch him, we can get him back down in the chute. So they learn very quickly to come to hand. We don't have any accidents, so the same thing before Scott loses him, make a fuss of him. They learn that when they come to you, they get rewarded. So he's been in a week, and I think this is the third time that he's been in the indoor. Yeah, the lights on if you need. Good. Don't turn them in a corner, they turn at the end. So they learn not to rush around like lunatics, so we can stop them either end. He's never jumped a fence until a week ago, and this is the third time he's ever jumped. So he's actually got to learn, you know, then he ran himself a bit close. And what we tend to do is try and do a couple of jumps on either rein. Good. One more. It's very difficult to assess them. That's why we get so many people think, oh well, you must know exactly which ones are the good ones. And to be honest with you, you know, they change. Your assessment of them changes so much through the. You say with him, he's a really nice mover. Light on his feet. He's quite concentrated on looking at the door and thinking wherever mates. Yeah. So it's difficult to assess then. You know, then he actually, first time used his brain and started to think where the jump was.
Because that's an important thing to notice, isn't it? If the horse makes a mistake, he learns from it.
Yeah. You know, basically he's going to improve because he's going to realise his mates aren't the other side of the door, and that basically he's got to concentrate or he knocks the jump down. One more on that rein.
Do you always use single fences or do you ever use doubles?
I tend to try. And use a single fence because the horse is always learning to place itself. Whereas if you have they have a lane with a fence and a sail, it eliminates the fact that the horse has got to use its own brain, so you can't tell whether it applies itself. You know, you like him this time. Got him to start thinking rather than running around. I think that 3's early enough to start teaching them to jump. You know, they're not mature enough. You know, and I think you can even see with that one, if you let it rush round and don't sort of slow it down, so you can very quickly start the beginning of a horse rushing, because basically on a horse's back you'd do the same thing. You know, if it was getting quick, you need to settle it down and start to trot until it starts to think what it was doing, rather than it loses the head and runs round and round quicker.
Well, you clearly saw him learn there, that as he slowed down and thought about it, he made a better jumping effort. So he clearly learned something from that experience.
Exactly. Yes, that's why it's important, as I said, that there's at least 3 or 4 of us, so that, you know, we don't let him turn in the corners. Basically, that he learns to go down the sidewalks, go to the end of the school, and do it in still that even though he's loose, that he's controlled. If you try and do it on your own,
well, he learns a number
next
of
thing
things
they learn bad habits.
Yeah.
And also the fact that as much as anything, as I said, a week later these had rugs on last night. You know, if you think it quickly, they actually start to understand and come to hand. This is one that's been in. She's been in for 2 weeks, as opposed to the other one being in a week.